Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to be sharing with you something that we're going to be doing here at our beautiful campsite. We've been staying in Arkansas for a little bit and really just soaking in the natural state and all its beauty, but we thought what better thing to do today than to set up a little camp cooking meal. And today we're going to be cooking one of the easiest things that you guys can also try out. This is a 3-ingredient meal that you can add some other things to kind of jazz it up, but the base is only 3 ingredients. So the 3 ingredients that we're going to be using today for the main part of this dish are this butter chicken simmer sauce, which I found at Walmart. We have 1 can of chicken, and then we have 1 California style vegetable mix. This is found in the frozen section, also at Walmart. Now, why simple recipes? Well, because a lot of times whenever you're in a van, putting together more complicated dishes can be a little bit ominous. And even though that I like to do that sometimes, I wanted to show you guys something that's super easy that you can get bold flavors with, but at the same time not have to worry about necessarily breaking the bank or having a ton of different items that you have to find at a store, because we all know stores are not created equal from place to place to place. Now today we're going to be adding this into it to kind of make it a little bit more special when it comes to the heartiness of this dish. But again, you can use a flatbread, you could use rice, or you could eat this by itself. We just happen to be in a really big rice mood, and Riley picked up 2 packages of this from Kroger, so it's time to get it eaten up. One of the things that a lot of people have inquired about with me traveling as much as I have is how that I'm able to cook the things that I do. And I've showed you a variety of different cooking devices that I use kind of on the road and camping setups that vary from cooking in my van to cooking outside. For example, that Joule cooker, oh my gosh, that thing has been so handy as of late because we've been making a lot of soups on the cold nights because it was too cold to be outside. But this one is one that I could cook in the van or outside using just my regular cooktop and a single pot. I am so excited about this one because I love a good saucy deliciousness, and this is definitely going to be that for us. But there's another couple things that I wanted to share with you all that are little tips, and we'll talk about those kind of as I get set up. Okay, we're going to start today off by getting set up, and to get set up I'm going to be actually using Riley's table. Whenever you travel with friends, it's nice to see that one person has something and the other person might have something different. I have a large cook table, but Riley's is long, which is better for today's demo. And then I'm using my little pop-out chair here so I can just have a little seat without having to get my big boy seat down from the roof. So this is going to be absolutely the perfect height for cooking at this table. Now, tip number 1 to you guys is to reimagine ingredients. Whenever you're thinking of a regular grocery store, a lot of times we have a mindset of what we can cook in homes. At the same time, cooking on the road is a little bit different because you have to be a bit more creative. So a lot of times whenever you're buying things, it quickly can add up if you're buying individual ingredients. But if you know you're going to be cooking something soon, then finding ways to find those same ingredients at a lesser cost can really reduce the amount that you're spending in your budget. For example, today we are using the California style vegetables. Now, if I were to go buy the independent vegetables that went into this mix, first and foremost, I would have way too much of them because cauliflower by itself is huge and I don't need that much for 2 people, in addition to carrots and broccoli. But also each of those ingredients cost a bit more. For example, I looked at the grocery store and found that a cauliflower, even the smaller one, was about $2. And then the carrots, even if I just got the smallest of the small packs, was still at least $1 to $1.50. And then for the broccoli was about $1.50 to $2, even with the smallest of ones. But I could also buy this 1 pack of frozen vegetables and just cook them up quickly, and they were only about $1.12 for the entire pack. As we continue to get our workstation, Riley brought some water just in case we need it. I'm actually going to put it on this side so it just sits a little bit flatter for me. But this brings me to tip number 2. Whenever you're doing camp cooking, if you are in a space that is wide open and free like this, I definitely recommend you all invest in a windscreen for your cooking device. This will allow you to cook in a big wide open space that doesn't have any wind blocking anything. For example, this tree line over here, it's way too far to actually catch any of the wind. My van, on the other hand, is close enough where it's catching the wind coming in from this direction. At the same time, that doesn't help me in all of these other ways over here. So having a simple windscreen, which costs less than $10, can really make your camping experience a lot better when it comes to cooking. So I always keep mine, and I keep it right inside this guy right here. Of course, any camp setup is something that you have to perfect for yourself. I know that a lot of people watch channels like mine or Riley's or others online, and they see things and they want to do those things also, and that's perfectly fine, but make it your own. Don't set something up just because someone else did it that way. Set it up because it's the most functional to you. If you're interested in using a different kind of cooking device, that's okay. There's nothing saying you have to use everything that a single creator shows you on the internet, and in fact, most of the time we don't. That's why you have to be able to adjust and make your own voice seen and heard when it comes to your camp setup. Now, I hope today's video is helpful to you guys, and again, try out this recipe, but make it your own. Let me know how that you modified this to make it your tasty delightfulness. Did you use a different cooking item? Did you use different ingredients? This is only a suggestion. As always, I like to share these things with you all, and I hope that it inspires you to get out and live life more fully, but also to appreciate the great outdoors in a unique way. And today, that's gonna be through cooking. For today, I am gonna be using my Ridge Monkey. This is the deep pot that I just received. And inside here, I have found that it's super handy to store my spices. Now that the Ridge Monkey's put together, it's time for me to put away the neoprene sleeve that the handles come in. And I like to do that inside of my little thing that I keep all my utensils in. I actually found this in the hair care section at my local Walmart, and it's large enough for me to put all of my different items that I need. Just find something to hold all the utensils. You will not regret it. But now it's time to actually do the cooking, and I'm gonna start off by just putting my ingredients into the Ridge Monkey itself. And for this, I'm just gonna put them all in there together. Oh, this smells so good. All of the spices in here are gonna be delightful. So pouring that into here and just coating all of the veggies really nicely. I usually keep my packaging and just make sure that I put the other packaging into it, and I put it sauce side down so that way it gives it a little barrier. And this also keeps up with all my trash in the outdoors. Last but not least, let's open up our chicken. Now with this, I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into the pot also with all of the juices. Now it's time for the fun part. Now we get to start everything to cooking. Riley, are you excited about the dinner?
I'm very excited. I'm very hungry. It's time to eat.
I'm starving, it's lunchtime, but it's slow simmering. It'll only be about 20 minutes.
How long does this take?
Well, it depends. If we were using fresh veg, it would take longer. But since we're using the frozen ones,
Should be really fast.
it should be, but I want it to absorb the flavor.
Yeah.
So it'll be quite delightful. Collaborating with friends can be one of the best things to do for mealtime. Whenever you travel with someone else, sometimes we eat independently, and that's great. But if you want to make a dish that is typically more of a 2-serving meal, if you're cooking it up for one person, sometimes the leftover process can be ho-hum. But if you have another friend who's eating with you, why not just cook a meal for 2? Serving sizes typically can range depending on what you're buying. And I found that whenever I was traveling solo, sometimes it's really hard to just purchase for one person, especially when I didn't have a refrigerator. So I would notice that I would eat things that might not be the best or might not be the freshest. And it was literally because there was no way that I could eat up all the food before it would go bad, because things are just in larger serving sizes. So traveling with a friend does have advantages. However, you don't have to eat with your friend every single time. You can just coordinate certain meals that you want to eat that are in larger portion sizes to work for you. Stirring. Ooh, stirring is looking good. So one of my favorite things to do whenever I am traveling is to do a 1-pot meal. Now today we're using 2 pots just because we don't want to cook the rice in with the butter chicken. However, typically if I was traveling by myself, I would just go ahead and throw the rice in there, and then we would cook it all as one dish. But today we wanted a little bit different vibe. Now, why a 1-pot meal though? Well, water. A lot of times whenever you're a nomad, especially traveling in a tiny vehicle, water is precious. And as you get closer and closer to the end of your water, whenever you need to resupply everything, a lot of times you want to conserve on your water. And even though this dish requires 0 water to cook, I still have to, at the end of the day, clean up my things. So cleaning up 1 pot is much easier than cleaning up 2 pots. Ooh, everything is simmering nicely. I just need to make sure I keep stirring so nothing sticks. Riley,
Yeah.
it's almost ready for you to make the rice.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's get started.
Now, this is the part that I love. 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 Now Okay, Riley is about to put our rice in the bowl. Woochy, woochy, wooch.
Oh, look at that.
Adding that little bit of the margarine there is going to be super awesome because it's going to hydrate the rice, but it's also going to give it like a creaminess. So whenever we put the spices of the butter chicken, Riley, what just happened?
I'm trying to break apart the rice, right? But I wasn't holding onto the handle like I should have, and I was like pressing a little too hard, and it nearly knocked the whole thing over.
Maybe we should do a video about kitchen safety.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's
Are
fine.
you sure?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, there's never a dull moment at our camp, guys. Never, ever, ever. What I was saying though is that the butteriness is going to really work well with the spices, but that seems very not important now because we just witnessed chaos. Chaos at camp. Chaos at camp! Once again. Okay, believe it or not, in these two, we have now completed a meal. The entire meal took us about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, that's it. And it was 2 pots. If, again, I would have done this by myself, I would have made it a 1-pot meal, but it's nicer with friends to just go ahead and divide up those chores. So Riley will be doing cleanup on hers, I'll be doing cleanup on mine, which also is a conservation of water. So I'm pretty pleased. I'm so excited about the flavors that we created today. And again, I encourage you guys to check this out and try it out if you like those really robust Indian spices, because I know that they make me so happy. So happy. Okay, Riley.
Yum!
About 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we now have something delightful.
So delicious.
Smells so good. Ready? Here we go.
Cheers.
Mmm. Ooh, hot. It is pretty warm just because it just came off the fire.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not spicy at all.
No, it has a really good flavor to it.
Mmm.
Ooh, and the rice is just absorbing all of that yumminess.
So yummy.
Remember guys, if you are out in the wilderness, have fun with your food. You don't necessarily have to just be eating PB&J sandwiches. This entire meal was under $10 and it serves 2 people, and I'm really excited about this because this is going to be so flavorful. And on a day like today, whenever we're here enjoying our campsite, this is perfect. We can sit outside on our little chairs and just enjoy the great outdoors and take it slow. I like to move pretty fast whenever I travel. I truly enjoy just sitting out at camp and enjoying the company of a good friend, and in doing so having something that isn't necessarily the hardest thing, but it's not necessarily something that you would think of always when it comes to camping food. This is going to be an epic meal and I can't wait, so I'm gonna go and sit down and dive in. So remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Find yourself a recipe, tell me if you've tried this one, let me know how you modified it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!